genetics could be to blame for getting cancer. A new study finds up to 40% of cancer cases and half of cancer deaths come down to things people could easily change. Researchers at Harvard Medical School say quit smoking, avoid heavy drinking, and keep a healthy weight to minimize the risk of getting cancer. Getting half an hour of moderate exercise every day can also help. Heavy drinking raises the risk of colon, breast, liver, and other cancers. Obesity ups the risk of throat and pancreatic cancers, while smoking causes up to 90% of lung cancer deaths. The bottom line, take charge of your own health.
Hi, good evening everybody. I'm sorry I'm not there at this point of time, but it's such a wonderful occasion that you all have gathered there for. Mahika, what an amazing job that you're doing. MCAN Foundation, I've been reading about it and knowing all the stuff that you do is very, very, very inspiring. And I've been associated, my sister works a lot with the Tata Hospital, and the amount of help that you give for people who are underprivileged and cannot afford the best in medicine, with the amount of love that you provide it with is outstanding and is very, very inspiring. So I hope, Mahika, you raise a lot of money for your foundation and you give back like this more and more the way you have been giving back. I wish you all the best for it, and I hope you all have a really good evening. All the very best.
Hi Dr. Pramesh, how are you?
How are you? Very well.
I'm good, thank you. I'm back at Tata Hospital. Now you know our fundraiser is coming up. Its days are so close. It's on 4th of October. So just getting all ready towards that.
Excellent. So your funds have helped us so much over the last few years, and so many patients getting benefited by that. It's incredible the kind of support you give us.
I'm humbled. I feel in a small little way, whatever we can do, we should all get together. And I'm trying and I will keep trying. And I hope to achieve much more.
Yeah, I hope so too, because so far the patients have got benefited. So what you're giving them is actually a very precious gift, and by giving them voice, which is something that they lose after a surgery for a cancer of the voice box, getting that is incredibly supportive, and giving them the gift of voice again is very, very good.
It's giving voice to the voiceless. I love the fact that we've been able to achieve that. And I'm sure we can do so much more by getting orphan casts which are hygienically made, specified for designated areas. I mean, small things we've, I think, achieved a bit in towards the growth, but I know we have yet so much more to achieve.
Yeah, I completely agree. So the good news about cancer is that the outcomes are so much better now than what it was even as close as a decade back.
Okay.
But the bad news is that some of this comes with its own added costs, and especially with head and neck cancer, which is a disease of the poor. Even small amounts of money, which for example a voice box cost or a orphan cost, is completely out of reach for patients. So it's either take that or be left without a voice or get additional side effects of radiation.
I think MCAN has given about 5 odd crores in the last 6 years. Now in this 7th year, we are going to have a fundraiser. Let's achieve and try and target and see what more we can get, and where are we lacking in the infrastructure or the equipment. What is it that we can get and they can benefit more with the help of people, because it is a fundraiser. Funds are coming direct to yours. So let at least get a target and try every year step by step to get closer towards the cause, the benefit, the help of the patients.
पहले बिल्कुल नहीं आता था, अभी आता है आवाज?
अभी इतना बोल सकता हूँ क्लास के बाद।
patients, unfortunately, at the prime of their career, they're the sole earning members, and they unfortunately got cancer of the voice box.
सीटी के ऊपर हाथ पकड़े तो आवाज आती, नहीं तो नहीं आती। सीटी के दबाना पड़ता है।
There's no connection between his lungs and his mouth, so he can't speak. So we put a small prosthesis at the posterior part, because of which he blocks this hole, and the air gets diverted into the newer passage that we've created, and he can phonate. He can talk.
नहीं, अभी तो टेंशन नहीं है। जो भी टेंशन है इनका, जो सीटी का ही है, हर साल में 1.5 साल में ना मेरे से होता मैं जमा करती, अगर नहीं हुआ तो मैं यहाँ से भी मदद ले लूँ।
Initially, even if they can afford it, the replacement becomes that much difficult. So every 6 months for them to get 30,000 rupees becomes difficult. And this is where MCAN has helped us from 2013, 2014. We've not had a single patient whom we've not given this machine for lack of funds.
I felt very humbled when I got to know, and I feel all our viewers should know that today, that when the patients in the hospital have come and the families that we have met and interacted with, he had no voice, they couldn't speak, and today each one of them have left the hospital with a voice box, they can communicate. I mean, it's giving voice to the voiceless.
मैं यही बोलना चाहती, जो सिगरेट पीते, गोवा खाते ना, वो लोग मत खाओ। मैं तो जहाँ मिलते हैं ना, कोई पहचान वाला ना पहचानो, मैं उनको टोक डालती, चाहे उनको बुरा लगे चाहे अच्छा। वो लोग बोलते अरे कुछ नहीं होता, जो ज़्यादा कंट्रोल में रहता ना उनको ही बीमारी आती, बोले कैंसर, ऐसा बोल के जवाब देते हैं।
And they become our ambassadors to teach the public to stop all these bad habits and curtail these menace of
Correct. So first let me take this opportunity to express our gratitude on behalf of our patients for the incredible support that you've been providing so far.
Thank you.
So the way I see this program expanding is currently we offer the voice prosthesis to every patient who comes to Tata Memorial Hospital.
True.
So we could probably expand that on a national scale.
Okay.
So we actually coordinate a network of cancer centers across the country called the National Cancer Grid, and this has been a complete game changer in the way we treat cancer.
Pan-India.
That's right. And the main mandate with which this was created was to have uniform standards of care. So frequently now we get patients from across the country, sometimes traveling 2 days, staying in Mumbai for a week or more and then going back. So you can imagine the kind of expense this involves. So the Cancer Grid tries to eliminate the need for this by providing the same level of care at their doorsteps.
Okay.
So what we could possibly do is to expand the scope of the voice prosthesis to patients from outside the Tata Memorial as well. The other area, which is again a system level improvement, would be to actually get some equipment which would enable us to rehabilitate our patients better.
Okay.
So now our survivals have improved. Now we need to focus on quality of life and how well their functional outcomes are optimized.
True, because I believe when you're going through a treatment
True.
and when you're already at your lowest, and what I've studied and what I've understood in my small little ways is the monies have there, but I feel it's the support care, the rehabilitation, and there's so much more that goes into the patient, and it's the outcome of that, right?
That's true. And especially when the outcomes are improving, you need to make sure that their longevity of life is not just adding numbers to
So
their
what
years.
are we targeting at now? What do we want to achieve now? So the swallowing machine, for example,
Right.
the speech machine, how much would something like this cost?
So it would be approximately 1 crore of rupees.
Okay.
So the benefit that this has is that it evaluates the quality of speech and swallowing in a patient who's had major head and neck surgery, which is tragic because they've conquered a disease like cancer,
Sure.
but then they die of some complication which is unrelated
So
to
I
the
don't
actual
think
cancer.
people know on this. Today, head and neck cancer, I think, is the second largest
So
cancer. Is it most
if you,
common?
If you combine all the head and neck cancers, it is the single most common
Single
cancer
most,
amongst
yeah.
men.
And it's widely
That's
spread.
true. So on one hand, while we support individual patients with the ORFIT and the voice box,
Correct.
we are looking at a much bigger picture here,
Correct.
where thousands of patients get benefited with one equipment.
Sure.
So I think the overall system will improve and the quality of care.
And doctor, sorry, but you know, like I always say, like the economy right now has been in a turmoil. There have been ups and downs. But today we are so fortunate. We have the infrastructure to help others.
That's right.
And our lifestyles haven't changed. So I would really plead to all my friends, all my supporters, and they have really been of great help. We managed to achieve so much in just about 6 years. And in our 7th year, I would like to reach out to everybody and tell them that
Absolutely, and I agree completely with the fact that even if it's a small sum of money, every
it
single
all adds up.
bit.
God has given us so much. We are very thankful. We are very humble. But there's so many who don't have it. So I think today's evening is all about giving back.
मंगलवार को हमको बुलाए और एडमिट किए और हम लोग बोले हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है, तो उन लोग ने इंग्लिश के उन्होंने हमको मदद कर दी।
कैसे हैं पहले से आप? सूजन कैसी है आपकी? पहले से कम हुई है? और कोई तकलीफ थी? पहले दर्द वगैरह था आपको? पहले से दर्द अभी कम हुआ है? और मुंह खोलना कैसा है आपका? पहले से मुंह खोलना बेहतर हुआ है?
He is a patient who has been with us for some time. He had a big tumor in the oral cavity, that is what we call his mouth in layman term. That was a bit huge in size. It was so big in size that it was not possible to remove it up front. And now it becomes a challenge that if we don't remove this tumor, then it is very unlikely to cure. So one of the way we do is that we give chemotherapy to these patients and shrink the tumor, and then my surgical colleague like Devendra and his colleague, they remove it. For that chemotherapy, it has a cost, and not every patient, and in fact a big number of patients, they can't afford it.
मेरे घर वाले ने सब कोई भी किसी ने कोई मदद नहीं की, नहीं पूछ रहे थे क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ।
MCAN fund is very useful in fact, and he is in fact one of the patients. Like this we have hundreds of them who has benefited, and what you can see here, you can't see any swelling, otherwise he had a big swelling because he has received right now chemotherapy and he will continue it. What this MCAN fund does, it allows them to complete the treatment and they receive chemotherapy and supportive care, and also gets help in the surgery and radiotherapy. So a complete treatment is possible for him. Otherwise this would have been a big challenge for the patient to complete the treatment. Now this fund allows, in fact we took some number also. Because of this fund, in this situation, almost majority of the patients, there are very few defaults because of this fund being available. If not there, a good number of patients will default, and otherwise very few patient defaults because continuous care is available because of fund being available. Once the fund has been available, now it is maybe 1 out of 20 who has a default because of some other reason. So we know that that is a very important part which is taken care of. We have seen a dramatic difference in the ability to patient complete treatment, and I was word they use dramatic as a really meaning that. That's why I said think about that 30 to 40% patient not completing treatment, and now almost only 6-7% not completing treatment. So there's a big dramatic difference in ability to take treatment.
सिक्स मंथ हो गया है इनके बारे में मेरे को पता चला है कि इनका बॉडी में कैंसर है, थायराइड कैंसर। तो मालूम है वो तो इतना छोटा उम्र में शादी किया है, तो वो अच्छी हो जाए तो भगवान के लिए कुछ याद किया है। तो मेरा छोटा बच्चा है 3 साल की, तो उसके लिए भी कुछ करना चाहिए, इसके लिए इधर आया। नहीं, गांव से कुछ मदद नहीं मिला है, तो उधर गांव का वीडियो तो उन्होंने एक इनकम सर्टिफिकेट देकर मुझे मुंबई भेजा है।
They get diagnosed with this disease which is often in the advanced stages, and they have to deal with the disease problems and the other problems of gathering money, of trying to find place to stay, of finding food.
तो ऑपरेशन के लिए खर्चा जितना होगा उन्होंने हॉस्पिटल से ही देंगे, तो उन्होंने ही मदद किया है हमके बारे में, और पेशेंट के लिए भी पूरा मदद दिया है।
All I can say is that these funds are extremely useful for us, and over the last 4 or 5 years since we have been gathering these funds, it has made a tremendous difference to our patients, absolutely tremendous difference, especially for head and neck cancer patients.
All the heartfelt stories that I have heard and seen and interacted with the patients, I appeal to all of you all yet again that please donate and please give the funds to Tata Memorial Hospital. They need it and every little bit adds up.
These funds come directly to the hospital, directly from the fundraising event. It comes to the hospital. It's just too many people. But if you look at the population of this hospital and population of the country and the number of patients, it's not equal. So if we have more people donating, it's really more pinkus all over the country will really benefit from this.
So let's cherish our today for a better tomorrow.